process will start again. So here let's start with the Linux. Let's access the documentation which has been given to us in the Linux, right? So the first document which we are going to access here is Introduction to Linux. You can also open this document, and lab also we will be doing. So both we will be able to access today. Here we go. Linux, we are going to start the Linux one. So let me extract the file. Need to annotate, so I'm just extracting all here, and I'll be using the same document, right? Linux introduction. So guys, we will be going ahead with the little bit accelerated mode, because we are running late. We are going ahead with the delay. Perfect. So yesterday we had the conversation, we had the discussion on the story how the Linux came, and today we will be seeing up how exactly we are going to use it and what are the fundamental part of it. So let's see what is the agenda when we are saying to learn the Linux, what we are going to learn into the Linux in the introduction part. So we'll see what exactly the Linux is, means like we are going to define Linux, and after that what are the features of Linux we do have in the component of the Linux operating system. Along with that we will try to understand the different Linux user interfaces, and you will be using the built-in Linux documentations and different types of Linux distributions we will be learning throughout this documentation. And initial document, let's say initial lecture, if you will be learning from starting, you can learn the Linux. How many of you know the Linux, guys? Let me know first of all. Let me know how many of you know the Linux. Just have a message in the chat box, like how many of you know the Linux operating system. Can you please send a message in the chat box, like you know? Let me check it. How many of you are aware about Linux? Okay. So as I can see, first is Kali Linux, he knows. Never used, Vishnu said no. Charan, Aditya Sutrave is telling basics of Linux, he knows. Alright. Perfect, guys. So okay, no problem. If you know, that is fine. If you don't know, okay, all right. So fine, guys, no problem. Charan is telling CentOS, Red Hat, Kali Linux, I know. Divya, yes sir. Good. So some of you know, like I can say 5 to 6 of you are much aware about the Linux. So what you can do, guys, who are not knowing the Linux, they need to start learning from now itself. Why? Because if you miss the initial lecture, you will be getting confused. So rather than missing any lecture, just start from now itself, and at the end of it you will be able to learn the Linux as well. So let's start. So here we have seen these all are the 5 points which we are going to learn under the Linux. First of all, we'll try to understand what exactly the Linux operating system is, their features and component, and then user interfaces we will be seeing, and how to access the documentation, how to take the help, and what all are the Linux distributions are available. We will be discussing about this. 5 points under this document. So guys, what exactly the Linux? So as per the story which we have gone through yesterday, Linux basically, Linux made as a kernel. Basically, you can say this is the core of your operating system, core of operating system. Now, what is the meaning of core of operating system? Means core. So whenever we are talking about the core, it means that directly on the hardware, directly on the hardware, kernel will come first. Kernel will come first. This defines it is core. It is the core of operating system. Core of operating system means if kernel is coming on the hardware, so anything related to hardware management, any activity or any task related to hardware management goes to the kernel only. So kernel will do the process management, kernel will do the memory management, kernel will do the CPU management, kernel will do all this management part under this. Let's say if you need to see the booting part also, that depends on the kernel. So kernel is the core. Core means what? It will reside on the hardware directly, and after that your other stuff will come. Either you can say user space, OS space will come here in this area, and after that you can start using the operating system, and you can keep the application later on this. So what is the meaning of core? Core means that we are keeping on the hardware for managing the memory, for managing the process, for managing the CPU, for managing the booting part of your operating system. So this is the kernel. So kernel will be the core. Core means main you can say component, specifically you can say in your operating system. So generally Linux is the kernel. Linux is the kernel. And if you will be keeping some application and software on it, Linux plus software. Linux is kernel, means kernel plus software that you can call as a operating system, right? So generally it all about where you are defining, where you are speaking about Linux. It does matter. Generally, if you are talking to anybody, you can say it is OS. Whenever you are defining in front of anybody, you can again say OS. But whenever you are getting question on the Linux, basically it is operating system or kernel in the deep of it. So you can say it is kernel, and if we'll add some software or application on it which supports the operating system utilities, that is only the OS, right? So here we will be seeing the definition which has been given here. So as we all know, these all are the hardware part like CPU, central processing unit, random access memory, RAM, storage and network. These all are hardware. Then what is operating system? Operating system creates the interface between user and hardware. Let's say if this is a user sitting out in front of a computer, sitting out in front of a laptop or computer here. So this user will be using the hardware of this computer. This user will use the hardware of this computer. So it is creating this OS which are there into this computer is creating an interface between user and the hardware which is there into the computer. So in simple way we can say operating system is interface between user and hardware, which is used to run your applications. So in computer generally we are installing any application, we are running that application in our computer. So that is happening on the operating system only, right? That is happening on the operating system. So as we all know, Linux operating system is open source, right? So code is publicly available. User can modify the code and expand it also. As we have discussed yesterday, so many company has modified and they have given their own name. Let's say Amazon has modified, means AWS Amazon has modified. They have given the name of operating system as Amazon 2023 or Amazon Linux 2, right? They have created two different OS, so they have given the same different name. That is a Linux. Like the same Red Hat is there, CentOS, Ubuntu, all are there. Because it is the open source, so the code is publicly available, so anybody can modify and expand it, and they can give their own name, and this is what happening. So this particular operating system supports multiple users and multitasking. This OS, multiple user, like multiple user you can create under the Linux OS. In the Linux operating system, if you are, let's say you are the main user, if you are installing this Linux operating system, so it will ask you to create the user account. So you will be creating a user account. In that user account will be known as a root user account. Root user account means as a admin account, as we are keeping into the Windows admin. In the Linux we will be calling it as a, in Windows we are calling admin, in Linux we will be calling it as a root. So here the root user you have to create. Here you have to create root user. Further, this root user will create some other user that we will be calling further as a standard user. That we will be seeing. So it supports multiple user, means one root user you can create in one account, and how many number of standard user you need, you can create. 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 user you need, you can create as a standard user, but root will be only one. So multiple user means more than one user you will be able to create here. Multitasking, like Linux operating system is again multitasking, means you will be able to use multiple application at the same time. You can run multiple process, you can run multiple services, you can run multiple software, so it will perform multiple tasks all the way. And it is built to handle networking also, guys. In this operating system you can handle the networking as well. So in your hardware, if you do have something called network interface, so on that interface what all are the setups you need to do, you can also do the setup. Means how to keep the IP address in the Linux, how to check the IP address, you will be able to learn everything, and how to make this IP within any network. So everything you will be able to understand within this Linux segment. So it is built to handle networking also. Easily you will be able to handle the networking, because even though if you are using networking, not networking means, let's say multiple computers are connected with each other, right? Now you will be having router, switches, these all are the components generally we are using into the networking. So even if you will see router or switches, their operating system, router operating system and switches operating system, these all are also, these IOS is also built on Linux only. These IOS are also built on Linux only. So you will be using Linux command to route the traffic. You will be using switch to connect the computers to each other. Basically, the whatever the hardware components of networking that we do have, the entire hardware of networking supports the Linux, because their IOS is also built on Linux only. Either you can say router or switches. In switches, you will get the operating system also, guys, and that operating system should be light. That's why it is made on Linux. So you can also handle the networking under the Linux as well. It provides system tools and utilities. So if you need to get any system related tools, like if you need to do some settings in your systems, along with if you need to do some system utilities, let's suppose the package manager you will be getting, and you will be getting networking setups here. You will be getting some tool to manage your operating system. So it will also provide you some tools and utility to manage the operating system. As you can see, Linux. Now I am going to show you this text, guys. Linux is an operating system that freely distributable under the terms of the GNU, not Unix GNU. General Public License, GPL, General Public License. And it is the open source because it does provide the source code for the core functionality of operating system, which is kernel. Core functionality of operating system. Core functionality of operating system. That is nothing but your kernel. So it is telling us uh, this open source code will provide you core functionality of an operating system called kernel. Which code? The code which we are using, Linux code here, right? User can modify and expand it, and the same thing, user can give their own name, right? And the history of it, as you all know, was created in 1991 by Linus Torvalds, and it is modular. It is modular. Modular means what, guys? When we are talking about modular means it can be modified. It can be modified or modifiable. It is modifiable. If you need to modify, that is a modular. Basically, you can say if you are setting up the OS, so if you need to modify something in the OS, you can modify because it's a modular. Non-modular means it's a fix. Let's say Windows comes as a non-modular. We cannot modify the Windows operating system, but we can modify the Linux operating system. It is stable as well. It is stable. Why? Because the main core work which you need to do, that will be done by the kernel on the hardware, and user space will work in the user area only. If you need to do something into the hardware, the kernel needs permission. So it used to be secure and stable as well. Mostly we are using for server operating system. Let's suppose if you are setting up a server to deliver the data to the client is here, client will make a request to the server will respond. So mostly the server used to be a Linux server operating system, right? It is commonly used for that, and we are also using as a desktop operating system as well. So why to use Windows? Windows need license, but Linux does not need license. So because of it, you can say the Linux is much more better than the Linux. Linux is much more better than the Windows. Now, Linus Torvald, a graduate student at the University of Helsinki in Finland, created Linux in 1991. Linux is similar to another operating system that is called Unix, which was developed late in 1960. In addition to being open source, Linux is modular, which means that you can extend it. Modular means you can modify and extend it. It is also stable, does not experience frequent system freeze. So here you will not experience like system will not get freeze most of the time. It will not require computer restart most of the time. Because of these benefits, you can use Linux both as a desktop system and server operating system also. Now we will be coming into the distribution of Linux. So distribution of the Linux, if you all know, if code is open source and free, so anyone can modify this and they can give their name. So distribution, distro is a package version of Linux, because Linux is open source, so anybody can make a distribution for their own purpose. Like the same, AWS made it as a Amazon Machine EMI, that is nothing but Amazon Linux 2. So Amazon Linux 2 is made on the same code, and they have given Amazon Linux, right? Like the same other are also there, like Amazon Linux 2, Red Hat Linux, Debian, Ubuntu. We all are having this one, right? Yeah, guys, distribution is clear to everybody. If you do have any doubt at any point of time, you guys can ask me now. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Oh, sir. Just give me a second, guys. हेलो हाँ भाई बोलो हम्म कौन विनय? 6th फ्लोर, 6th फ्लोर पे। अरे जब जा घुसोगे तो लेफ्ट साइड में एक लिफ्ट है, उससे चढ़ोगे तो वेस्ट ब्लॉक है सर। हाँ, लेफ्ट साइड में जो लिफ्ट है 6th फ्लोर पे जाना पड़ेगा, और जाके श्रीधर सर से मिल लो एक बार। हाँ, श्रीधर सर से। ठीक। ओके guys, it's coming now.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So here,
Can you repeat the distribution once again?
yeah, distribution, I'll repeat it again. See,
Yes, sir.
the code, the Linux code, which has been made by Linus Torvald, Linux code made by Linus Torvald. He made this code public. Public means anybody can get the code, and he made it as a free. And he made it as a free, no need of license, and he made it as a modifiable also, so anybody can modify it, anybody can modify that code. So which we are talking about right now, Amazon is a company. They have modified this code, Linux code, and they made this Amazon Linux 2. Like the same, Red Hat is the company. Red Hat has modified, and they made it as a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, mostly it is getting used for the company because it is enterprise. It means that it is made for company work. So Red Hat made the Red Hat Enterprises Linux, and it is not free. It is not free. Main operating system is free. Red Hat Linux is free, but if you need any support on the operating system from Red Hat side, then it is not free. Like the same, Debian has modified, Ubuntu has modified, CentOS has modified. So these all are the company. They have modified the code, and they have given the different name of the operating system. Right? So each distribution is completely depends on the entire code of Linux only. Entire code of the Linux means any Linux, if you pick up now and check it out, it is completely made by the code which has been given by the Linus Torvald. Entire distributions, these all are the very small list. If I'll show you, if I'll show you here, there is a big list, and not only you can just do Google, or you can use Chat GPT here to ask the question if uh, uh, operating system made by Linux code. List, we can say list, and give 50. So it will give you the 50. See, now if you say I could ask 100 also, so it will give you 100, because see, Ubuntu, these all are the popular desktop and server distribution, which is Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, Arch Linux, Linux Mint, Manjaro, Pop OS, Zorin. Some of name even we do not know. Just a second, guys. हाँ भाई बोलो। हाँ वही है, 6th फ्लोर पे जाना, और श्रीधर सर से मिलना, और बोलना कि सर मैं विशाल, वो जान जाएंगे, उन्हीं ने फोन किया था, बात किया। ठीक है, पूछ लेना श्रीधर सर, ठीक है, उनसे बात कर लेना। बाकी मेरे से वो भी बात कराना तो 10:30 बजे। ठीक है, ठीक है। So guys, if you see enterprise and server distribution, which is made specifically for company purpose, So we do have Red Hat, you can see Red Hat. We do have CentOS. You do have CentOS. C again, C for community, ENT for enterprises, O for operating, S for system. So CentOS has been replaced by CentOS Stream. And this is so, sorry. CentOS Stream is, the appearance of CentOS Stream is too good, guys. If you will use, you will love it. Seriously, I have used it. So these all are company purpose. Enterprises, so we do have Red Hat, we do have CentOS Stream, we do have Rocky Linux, Alma Linux, we do have SUSE Linux, OpenSUSE, Oracle Linux. These all are for company purpose. Some of our security and penetration testing purpose as Kali Linux, Parrot OS, Black Arc Linux, Black Box, Kane, lightweight minimalist distro, lightweight, Puppy Linux, Core Linux, Slacks, privacy focused, some of them are there, rolling release, and gaming and multimedia distribution, and mobile and special purpose Linux. Android is also made by Linux. Android is also made by Linux only. Post Market OS, Ubuntu Touch, Raspberry Pi, which we are using on Raspbian. Raspbian is the operating system which we are using on the Raspberry Pi. It is a IoT device. Generally, we are using it to, connect these devices and through the internet, and we used to send a request, and it used to perform like this. This is the topmost device which is getting used in IoT, guys. So the same IoT device operating system is also made by this Chrome OS, the Chromebook, which we are using in a few laptops, that is also made by the same Laka. Now these all are a big list of distributions, guys. So you can think of, if a person made the code available, that's why these distributions made. And if you see iOS of what do you call, router and switches made on Linux. How many you need? 10, let's say 10 Linux. List of 10. So there are so many, you can see OpenWRT, pfSense, these all are OpenSwitch, Cumulus Linux, Sonic, these IPFire, OPNSense, LED, these all are, the OSs which we are using generally into the firewall, or we are using into the router. Their operating system is also made by the Linux. And some of you will be thinking this is only the Linux. No. If you need to find out, the iOS made for what do you call, say, television, and refrigerator, and refrigerator, and AC, air conditioner, and anything else. The list is not going to stop. It will keep going on. Whatever the component or electronic device which is having the feature of operating it, mostly that is also made by Linux only. The iOS made for this using Linux are, see, Android TV, guys, Android TV, WebOS LG, developed by Palm, now owned by LG, run smart LG TV, refrigerator and IoT devices. Tizen OS, Samsung, they are using this smart TV, refrigerator and wearable device. Roku, Fire OS, Amazon Fire TV, Fire Stick, Vida, even I don't know, Hisense TV that comes, Toshiba TVs, in My Home Screen, Panasonic, These all are means any small devices which is having the feature of operating. Mostly the operating system is made by using Linux only. Why Linux? Because the code is open. First thing, Linux is very light. Means what all are the part of operating system you want to use specifically for any device, you can use that part and you can make any small iOS or OS in that you can use directly in any electronic device. Got it, guys? Got it?
Yes, sir. So,
So we can do rather than doing Google, we can use ChatGPT to get few more answers. So moving further, if you see here, and distribution are so many, so we cannot count the distribution. Or if you need to try counting, we can count also. We can ask to ChatGPT how many distribution of Linux are available. So it is telling around 500 plus. So how anybody will remember the name, guys, that you all know? It is very difficult to remember all the distribution name. We can call it distro. And it is telling us there are 500 plus active Linux distribution listed on DistroWatch, a website that tracks the Linux distros. Linux distribution, if we need to track, we can go to this DistroWatch. In there we can see how many distribution of Linux we do have. So here you can see, right? They are keep making it, guys. They are keep making it. The Reno came, Deepin, Linux Mint, MX Linux, like the same. You can see all in the list has been given to you. Here you can see on the right side, right? This it has used the detail from here itself. Last 6 months, how many we do have? 100 detail it is showing, and last 6 months here we go to find out according to the year. Last 6 months, last 12 months, most rating trending last 12 months if we see. Go. Right? So it is again showing you the 100 list of it. So like the same, guys, you can get much more detail of distributions here. It is not only showing you the name, it will give you the description also about that particular distribution. These all are the latest distribution you can see on the left corner. Latest distribution, latest headline, and these all are the ranking, and these all are the descriptions along with the version in operating system. Right? So we can watch this distrowatch.com. Clear, guys? So I'm not telling you to remember all the distribution, but even though we are learning the Linux, which is the core, which is the main, and that is enough, right? So these all are the Linux distributions, guys. We're coming back to the topic now. Distributions are typically downloaded. You can install by using various media and format, like you can use CD, USB device, or you can just use iOS image to install the Linux operating system. These all are the example. Amazon Linux 2, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Debian, Ubuntu. These all are the. An Amazon Linux 2 operating system is readily distributed by Amazon AMI. So if you will see the AMI, there you can also see one, not one, multiple, images of Linux. Out of that, you will be having Amazon Linux 2 also, that we will be using very soon. That is pre-installed software that you can use specifically directly here if you need to use it. So now we will be talking about the Linux component of the Linux. So what are the component of the Linux we do have? So these all are the major component that we need to know. The first one is kernel. Kernel will provide you the core functionality of the operating system. core functionality of the operating system will be provided to you by the kernel. And one more component come as a daemons. Daemons will provide you the extra support for the operating system in the user. Means it will help you to run the background process. It will help you to run the background process, you can say. That is nothing but daemon. It will give you the extra support to the user by running the background processes. We do have application, again one more component of it. So it includes programs such as your text editor, web browser, and the databases solutions. So that kind of application that we are keeping, data files like your text file, music file, image file that you can keep into the Linux. In Linux, everything is a file. In Linux, everything is a file. In Linux, everything is file. Do not forget this line. In Linux, everything is a file only. Configuration file. So now it is showing configuration file. It contains setting for Linux services application that is stored in the text. Now I said everything is a file, guys, in the Linux. So you will be getting different file. You will be getting different file. You will be getting different file. So if you will get a file which will contain the setting for services, that will be different file. You will be getting setting for application, that will be different file. So everything will be file only. Different file will be there, that you will be learning very soon. Now we will be starting one by one. What is the Linux kernel? So Linux kernel and operating system kernel is a computer program which will be having control of everything into the operating system. Like a kernel is a program. Do not get confused, guys, hereafter. Kernel is nothing but it is a computer program. Kernel is computer program. It is not something hardware. It is a computer program which will control, you can say, entire operating system or operating system, which will control operating system. Everything which will control everything in operating system. This is what it has been given here. An operating system kernel is a computer program, a controller of everything in the operating system. Now what it will control? If it is coming in your mind, so you can say scheduling a processor time. So let's say here is the user. So user will use some shell. We used to call shell. User will use any shell. User will use to interact with the operating system. How we will talk to OS? What is the medium of talking of operating system? Let's say here is the OS. How operating system will understand what we are saying? So for that we will be using a shell. Now if user will interact with the shell, asking some request. User made a request to perform some task. Let's say calculation. 5 plus 4. So first of all, kernel will see, okay, it is a calculation. So it will just give the CPU time plus 5 plus 4 in binary. In binary, it will write digital way. It will write some value of 5 and 4. And after that, it will store into the memory. Once it will take by the RAM, once the value will be taken by the RAM, then CPU will say the computation. CPU will say the computation to calculate the value and give it to you. So overall, from requesting, if user is requesting for doing some calculation, after making a request to getting the output, request and getting the output in between of the entire task which are getting done, that is done by the kernel only. First of all, kernel will give the processor time, kernel will connect with the memory also. So memory allocation you can see in the second option, memory allocation for the operating system and for application will be also done by the kernel only. And if you are using some hardware component like sound card, hard disk drive, network card and other, again you will be able to manage entire things by using kernel. So what kernel is? Kernel is the core part of your operating system. Kernel is a program which control everything in your operating system. Kernel is used to, by using the kernel only, we will be able to schedule the processor time. Our kernel is used to schedule the processor time. Kernel is used to allocate the memory. Kernel is used to, handle the hardware devices or hardware component like sound card, hard disk drive, network card, and any other component, right? So this is the kernel, and somewhat the task which can be done by the kernel that has been given here. Function of the Linux kernel. What work or function it will do? Work or function it will do. So the kernel manages the running of multiple applications and the sharing of resources among multiple users. So this is the map, kernel management map, guys. So this is the kernel. Now what it will manage? It will manage the memory. Kernel is used for memory management. Kernel is used for process management. Kernel is used for device management, resource allocation management, file system access management. These are a major 5 tasks kernel is doing. Memory management, process management, device management, resource allocation management, file system management. So basically these all you will be learning in the future once you will start doing few commands and doing the things. That time you all will be learning how the kernel is managing these things in detail. Okay, so related to memory management, process, device, resource, file system access, everything will be coming under the kernel. Perfect. The second component of it is daemons. Daemons, basically it is a computer program that runs in the background. Daemons are computer program that runs in the background, are not under the control of an interactive user. Let's say if you install or you are installing a Linux OS. So it will come in front of you, Linux OS, you will start using it. Some background process will be running there, right? Some background process will be running here to support your, task. Let's suppose it will ask you to log in. So there is a bash rc file. It will come in future. There is a file called bash rc file. So login page will open. A user will give the username and password. So after taking this entire credential, it will run into the background. It will check whether this credential is valid or not. If it is valid, you will be able to log in. If it is not, you will not able to log in. Like the same, if you are booting the operating system, if you are installing the OS, if it is booting, so during the booting time also, during the bootable time, you can say there are few background process will be running, and that background process is daemons only. There will be few commands that we will be seeing also, and you can see syslogd. This particular process or this particular daemons which will be ending by D, there will be some process which will be running into the Linux. If it will followed by D, it means that it is a daemon. Even if you will be running in future HTTPD, this is Apache to bring the text on the server, as we have used Jam. So in XAMPP we have used Apache. Like the same, if you will use Apache server also, so D will be coming there. If you are using SSH, so D is coming. If you are using syslog, D is coming. So D shows whatever the process you are running, that process will be running into the background under the daemons. That process will be running in the background under the daemons. So it will not take any support from you. Means OS is built for the same. Linux is built for running the daemon background processes for you. As you can see, our daemons are not under the control of an interactive user. So daemons generally it will not be under control of interactive user. Either you will give the permission or you will be your root user can modify that. So typically provide a system service. It will provide a system service. Whatever the later on you will be saying what all are the services running in our operating system. So those services will also come under the daemons. And processes names that traditionally end with the D letter will be known as a daemons. Right? Daemons process. That you will be seeing also in future, guys. Let's say syslog D. When system or user application generates messages, syslog D daemons capture the messages and store them into a file called log. So generally your entire activity will record. So how it will record? In the background, a daemon process will run. The process is syslog D. This process will capture the activity or the message and it will store into a file called log. So if you need to check the entire activity, you can go in the log file and you can check entire activity of your OS or user. So this is the daemon. And let's say SSHD. SSHD daemons again handle the SSH connections to the computer. Let's say this is our local computer. It is a protocol, guys. SSH is the protocol. SSH is the protocol. It is used to connect a local computer to the virtual machine. Let's say if you are using, so you will be using by this SSH to connect this to this. As we have used RDP for Windows, RDP we have used for Windows, like the same SSH you will be using for Linux. So it will connect one local computer to the virtual machine. So SSH is again a daemon process. So SSH is daemon that handle the SSH connections to the computer. This typically connect and use encryptions to do a secure communication between client and server. And you will learn more about daemons under the managing processes lesson. If you will manage the process, there you will be learning somewhat more about the daemon. Just remember, daemon is the background processes which runs in the Linux operating system, where the user will not have that much interaction with the daemon process. Alright, is it clear, guys? Daemon and kernel is clear?
Yes, sir.
Further, we will be seeing applications. Applications are software which will provide you the set of functions will made for some specific task or activity which you will perform, that you all know, like your word processor, web browser, email client and media player. These all are the applications or software that you will be keeping into your operating system. Moving further, data files. What are the data files, guys? The file basically contains some information that programs use and can have different types of data. Your music file, text file and image file. Files can be grouped in a directory, where in Windows we were calling it a folder. Here we will be calling it as a directory. How to name a file? If you give the name of any file, so you will be giving file name. If you are keeping dot and extension, that will become the same file in the Linux. Let's suppose you are creating a file. For example, you are creating a file saying let's say image. image dot jpg. If you keep like this, or jpeg, or gif, or if you are keeping something called video, let's say video dot mp4 or something like that, you can keep the extension, guys. Extension is important here. Like any text file you are keeping, let's say file dot txt, it will be considered as a text file. File dot pdf, it will consider as a pdf. Like that, you can keep the extension and that will follow the same file type, right? So we will be working on these extension also. Further, we do have configuration files. So as I have told you, in Linux, everything is file. Everything is file. In Linux, everything is file. Linux is file, or in Linux, everything is a file. So out of that, one file is coming under the configuration file. There is a file called configuration file. This is having some special use here. This will keep initial setting and or it will store value for system program. And you will be finding out through this directory /etc/group. That file will contain the list of users. This file will contain the list of users. Rather than this, you can even go to etc/passwd. There you can see. Not this is the correct directory to find out the list of user. You can go to this directory and you can find out the user. There also you can find out. Here also you can find out. But this is the best place to find. Alright. So some configuration files run a set of commands at start. So once you will start the operating system, some of configuration file will start running from the same time once you will start it. Like some of the extension will be coming up. That file is .cnf, .conf, .cf, ini specifically for applications. So these configuration file will run once you will start the operating system, right? And Linux user interface is the next that we are going to learn. Guys, when we talk about Linux user interface, so there are two types of interface of Linux we do have. One we used to call command line interface, and second one we used to call GUI. So generally I'm talking about, generally Linux used to be of CLI because it used to be of lightweight, right? And GUI, let's say Windows used to be of GUI method. Windows used to be of GUI, where you will be having visual and you will be having intuitive to navigate as we do have Windows. So now Linux comes with both CLI and GUI. How it does come, I'll show you. If you are taking GUI, so this GUI will be GUI plus CLI both. But if you are taking CLI, so you will be taking only CLI, and this will be of lightweight and this will be of little bit heavy. And this both weight will be lighter than Windows. Lighter than Windows. Means if you do have half GB RAM and if you are taking half portion of CPU, you will be able to work perfectly with the Amazon Linux, or even in Ubuntu also, or Debian also you can, or CentOS also you can work with this configuration. This is not permissible with the Windows because it is lightweight. But again, GUI, if you need much more hardware resource. So it is giving, the first line it is telling, it consumes fewer hardware resource if you are using CLI, whereas GUI is visual, intuitive to navigate, so it does require much more hardware resource. It can be automated with this script. Means if you need to automate some task under the CLI, you can automate by using some script. And it is similar in Linux, Microsoft Windows and Mac OS. right? It is the GUI. GUI is available in Linux, Microsoft Windows, and Mac OS. It provides more options. Most Linux server use only CLI. Linux server will be using CLI, whereas most user workstation uses the GUI as Windows. The shell. The shell, guys. Shell will is again an interface between user and you can say shell is the interface between user and OS. Here will be the shell. So user cannot directly interact with the OS. User has to interact with the shell. Further, shell will interact with the operating system. So this is what it is telling. Here is the user. User will interact with the shell. User will interact with the shell, and then this shell will interact with the operating system or kernel. Right? This will interact with the kernel for memory management, process, device, or resource. After that, it will provide the resource to the shell, and then the user will get it. So what exactly the shell? I have told you there are two methods of using it, right? GUI and CLI. So CLI is nothing but a shell. CLI, guys, CLI is nothing but a shell. It is a shell. So we are writing the command on the CLI only. So that CLI is only the shell. By using CLI, the user will interact with the operating system. Alright. So let's say it is saying us the type of shell. There are multiple types of shell we do have. SH shell that we used to call Bourne shell for Unix. This is the original shell. Bash shell, it is for Linux shell. Basically, we used to call Born Again shell. It is the default shell of almost all the Linux distributions. Bash is the shell for almost all Linux distribution system. KSS is the Korn shell for Unix shell. Each shell has its own syntax, its way format of command. This CLI where you will be writing the command, we are talking about that platform. That platform is nothing but the shell where you will be writing the command. So it is telling us different shell will be having different syntax and format of command. And the shell provides the command prompt also where you can write the command. That is what I am saying. That is only the shell. Bash shell is the default Linux shell. Most of the Linux will be having this shell only. Most of the Linux distributions. And here in this course, you will be learning about the shell scripting under the shell one shell, that is the bash shell. Here you will be learning the bash shell. Linux documentation, guys. So let's suppose you don't know about the command. Let's say you don't know about any command. You don't know what command will do. What command will do. So Linux provides you a command for it. That command we used to call manual pages. There you will be able to access the documentations. For that you need to keep man command. Man. What man command will do? It will give you the manual pages, or it will contain the documentation for Linux command. It will give you the brief summary about the purpose of the command, syntax, and some of options, the flag, which will be associated with that particular command. It means you are asking a help from the Linux. For example, let's say how to check the IP address in the Linux. So we used to write IP config without space, IP config. So if you keep IP config, it will give you the IP. You don't know about this command, what it will do. Let's say then you will write man space IP config. Then it will give you like this command, name of the command, what is the purpose of this command, how to write this command. The syntax will also it give you. The option, if you need to get all the addresses, you can just write /all, kind of that option it will give you. Right, so we will be checking the man command also. And the man command you can use to get the manual page of each command. This info you will get, the name of command, synopsis you will be getting here, means basically it will give you the description is this one. Synopsis will give you some options related stuff, options related, let's say how to use -c, how to use -d, like that. Options related stuff we will be getting into the synopsis. And if you need to understand what man can do, what is the man command? So what is the man command? So man is used for manual pages. So you can just keep man and man. So this man command will give the manual page of manual command. Here it has been given. The name will be the brief descriptions about the purpose of the command. Synopsis, the syntax of the command. And synopsis will be the syntax. It will be the syntax. Description and options will be your flag or command options. That I'll show you everything in the lab so that you will be able to understand. And then if you are using man command, you can use up arrow key and down arrow key to move it up and down, right? Scroll it up and down. And you can use space bar also, so that you can scroll down one page at a time. And if you need to search something, you can use slash and then you can write whatever you want to search. And Q you can use to exit from here. Q you can use to exit from man page. Now Linux distributions. So Linux distribution, as you can see, we do have so many: Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE, OpenSUSE, Debian, Fedora. And if you talk about individual distribution, guys, so as you can see, Fedora, Red Hat, and IBM company mainly sponsor for this distribution. IBM, Fedora. Fedora is used to develop, test, mature the Linux operating system. It is open source also. Commercially distributed Red Hat Linux, from which the Amazon Linux 2 and CentOS distributions are derived. So it is giving you the way, basically, from Fedora, Red Hat came from Red Hat, Amazon Linux 2 and then CentOS. Like Debian. Debian basically adhere strongly to the free software principle of open source. So the Ubuntu distribution is derived from Debian. And Debian is the British company, Canonical Limited, right? So Ubuntu is of Debian. OpenSUSE, it is a German company. SUSE sponsor this distribution and we used to call SUSE. And Amazon Linux 2 is again a distributions. It is designed for using the virtual machines. It is derived from Red Hat Linux, Red Hat Enterprises Linux. It is designed from Red Hat Enterprises Linux, right? Somewhat more things you will be seeing, guys, into the what do you say, once we will be entering into the. So CentOS is Community Enterprises Operating System. It is an enterprise class Linux distribution. It is again derived from the Red Hat Linux. So Red Hat Linux is derived from Fedora. Red Hat is derived from Fedora. And from Red Hat we have two. One is your Amazon Linux 2, and again Amazon Linux 2023. You can say this 2023 is derived from Amazon Linux 2. And the second one is CentOS. They both derive from Red Hat Linux. And it derived from Fedora. Derived means what, guys? Derived means it came from, derived means like this. Let's say Fedora. This is Fedora. This is Fedora. Yes, this is Fedora. Now let's say this is made 100% by using 100%. Now after using Fedora, if you made something by using 90% of the part of Fedora you have used and you said it is Red Hat Linux. Like the same, from 90% of it you have used, let's say 60% of the code of this Red Hat. Then you said it as a CentOS. And again 70% of the code you have used for Amazon Linux. Like the same, like either you can use 100%, 90%, or you will be using the same background code, right? And CentOS was replaced by CentOS Stream in December 2020, guys. It has been replaced in 2020. Connecting to a remote Linux server, we will be able to create a machine and we will try to connect it. So this is the lab environment, how to perform the lab. So I will not use this lab because this will give you only the half of the picture of it, but I'll give you the full picture of it, right? So this also you will be getting these steps also. This we are going to use daily. These steps we are going to use daily once we will be using the Linux. The lab architecture is so simple. Inside the AWS, there is one VPC, means a network, right? And in that network, there is one availability zone, one part of your network. And in that availability zone, you have created a public subnet, which a public subnet means where internet will be there. In that public subnet, you have created a EC2 instance. In that instance, if you need to use from your computer, you can connect with the private key using the SSH and you can access generally the same setup we were having into the Windows, but here SSH was not there. That time we were using RDP, but here it will be SSH on the port number 23. You can use PuTTY as a third party application, or you can go ahead with the direct SSH connections. And how to access Linux AMI, that I'll be telling you in the lab directly. And this is what the introduction part of it we do have, guys. And everybody, please start the lab. Lab name is Introduction to Amazon EC2. We will be using this lab for Linux now. Last time we have used it for Windows. This time we will be using for Linux. So when it comes to the agenda, what we are going to do, what we are going to learn throughout this lab. So the first agenda is to create Linux based virtual machine. Guys, are you able to see the pen screen?
Yes, sir.
And we will try to find out the number of ways to connect the Linux machine. This is what our lab will be. The first way, you will be using a direct connect. Second connection, you will be using SSH through command prompt, CMD command prompt. Third, you will be using SSH through third party tool called PuTTY. Fourth, direct connect this. And fourth is 1, 2, 3. Direct connect will be through browser. Fourth one will be session manager. That we will be seeing later on. These three we will be seeing for now. These three we will be seeing for now. Okay. So let's start. So our lab is ready. We will log in into the AWS now. We'll go to EC2. We'll click on instance, launch instance, and we can just give the name, let's say Linux machine. I have given the name of machine as a Linux machine. And right now we can use Amazon Linux. If you see Amazon Linux 2 AMI, we can use. It is having a hardware virtual machine utilization. Kernel is 5.10. It comes with the SSD volume. We will be using this. And 2023 is the derivatives of Amazon Linux 2 AMI, right? So rather than using 2023, we can use this Amazon Linux 2 AMI, right? For now. Okay. And instance type, as you all know, here you will not face any problem of speed. So this T2 micro is much comfortable. One virtual machine, 1 GB RAM is much enough. And key pair we can create. So we will be creating the key pair by the name of Linux key. We will be giving Linux key.
.ppk.
You can create anyone. For now, we will create .pem, not .ppk. We will create .pem, and by using the .pem, everything will work also, right? We can convert later on in .ppk also. I'll show you the process. We'll create the key pair. In network, let it be by default as it is. Network, let it be by default as it is. And here you can see allow SSH traffic, it is coming. For Windows, it will be coming RDP. For Linux, it will be coming SSH. That's it you have to do. And here the volume, the root storage means you can say volume where the local disk C, as we are using into the Windows. So the local disk C in your Linux, we will be calling it as a root volume, and that will be of 8 GB. And you need not to do anything. You have to just click on launch the instance. And always,
Sir, can you repeat?
yeah,
I missed the.
all right. I'll repeat. So what we did, we have to go into the instances and we have to click on launch instance. And here we have to give the name of machine as a Linux machine. And after that, here we will be selecting Amazon Linux 2 AMI. And then T2 micro will be the instance type. Key pair you have to create here. Create a new key pair and give the name of key pair as a Linux key 1 because that exists already. So Linux key 1 we will just click here to create the key pair. In network we will not do anything. We are just using default stuff, and it is giving 8 GB root volume, and that's it guys. In network and security also SSH, the same thing is allowed. And after doing this, we can just click here to launch instance. I'm not launching. You can just click there to launch the instance.
Sir, version 2023.
Version use Amazon Linux 2 AMI.
Okay. Thank you.
And version 2023 also we will be using in the same, but not now. Once you will be familiar with few commands, so that we will try to find out the differences between both of them. So here, if you see, we have created this Linux machine and it is initializing. Still you will be able to connect. So for connecting, the first method is, I am showing you the connection now. The first method is you can select this machine and you can click on connect. Once you click on connect, we do have EC2 instance direct connect. This is EC2 instance direct connect. So it will connect your EC2 instance through the browser, right? So if you click here on connect option, it will connect through the browser. What you will do, whatever task you have to do in the Linux, you will be able to do it by keeping the command directly here, right? Anyone is able to connect here. Access denied is coming for now.
No, sir. Same, sir.
Access
Remain.
denied is coming, right? EC2. In most cases, the default username EC2 user is correct. However, your AMI uses instruction to check the owner has been this. Okay, this is what I think. It is
Sir,
not.
instance,
Yeah,
sir, instance type is T2, right?
instance
Type.
instance type T2 micro. Yeah.
Yes.
So we are not able to connect just because of the permission here in this lab. In other lab, we will get the permission to direct connect. But direct connect permission, uh, let's try one more time. Access denied by EC2 instance connect. Either your AWS credential are not valid or you do not have access to the EC2 instance. So what we can do is we can take the access once. We can try using the security group once again. Security group is giving the permission of port number 22. Sorry, once while explaining under the um, while explaining the things. Last time I have used port 23, but SSH will be on port 22, guys, right? So here it is already allowed to 0.0.0/0. So no need to, it's a permission issues only. Alright, let's try to check out the other method to connect. So we will be connecting with the command prompt. First thing, we will connect with the command prompt, and second, we will connect with the put. So first I will show you the command prompt. So connecting to the command prompt is very easy. If you are not that much familiar with the command, changing the directory and all, I'll give you a small way, you will be able to do it. So let's connect. Are you able to go back to the download, guys? Go back to the downloads where you have downloaded your key pair. Where you have downloaded the key pair. So my key pair name is Linux key. So the one extra one has been added. So I'll just try to change it. I'll remove this key in bracket. Right? Key in bracket. So this is the Linux. Want to rename this to this? No. Array. One is already there. Okay, Linux key PEM. It is fine now. So basically some other key pair might be there in the download. That's why it is coming like this. Linux PEM is here. A new key PEM is here. And fine. It is absolutely fine now. So guys, what you have to do is you need to go back to the place where you have downloaded the key pair. Let's say I have downloaded into the download, so I'll go in download. And on the downloads, if you see, here we do have downloads on the top corner. That is the location of the file. So what you can do, you will click here once. You click here and just type cmd here directly. And if you enter here, it will open command prompt into download. Are you able to do this? Just check it out, guys. If you have downloaded in documents, you can just write cmd here. If you have downloaded in the downloads, the key pair, so just type the cmd here, cmd. So it will open like this. Now what you have to do is you need to bring a command. The command, if you forget or if you don't know, you can just select this machine and click on connect, and you can go to SSH client. You can go to SSH client and This is the command ssh space hyphen I, the key pair in EC2 user at the host name of your computer, right? Directly you can copy this from here and you can go back to command prompt. You can just paste here and you can hit enter. It will connect your machine. You can just give yes. It will connect your machine to the Linux machine. Now you can just clear up the screen. Clear command you can use, and you can use some other, let's say IP or IF config. It is showing the IP address. You can again clear up the screen. Done, guys?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to connect?
Yes, sir.
Anyone is facing issue? No, right? So this is the first way to connect.
Sir, in command prompt, after the we need to wait and we need to press the clear, sir.
No, in command prompt, let's say I'll show you. See the command prompt. This is the file. This is the file which I have downloaded, my key pair. So what will I do? I'll just go back to this download, this location menu, and here I'll write cmd command prompt. So my command prompt will open, right? Once command prompt will open, then I need to go back to the Linux machine. Let's say your instance is here. You have to select this machine once, click on connect, and go back to the SSH client option. Here you do have the SSH space hyphen I, SSH space hyphen I, in the Linux key pair in the double quote in space EC2 user at the rate the DNS, you can say the DNS of the computer. The entire command we can copy from here and we can go back to CMD and we can paste enter and then it will get connected. Now it will become Linux. Now this is not CMD anymore. It is Linux now. You can just use the Linux command directly. If this sign you are getting, this sign, it is showing up Amazon Linux 2 end of life is 2025 630, means 30 June 2025 its life will end, and Amazon Linux 2023 will come into the picture and supported until 2028. So this is what info it will give you. It means that it is connected and you can write clear command to clear the screen. And if you need to do any other command here, let's say we have gone through the man command. So man means manual of any command. So man means man command. Let's say you are going to check the manual of man command. So what man will do? Man will give you the manual paper utilities. So man command is an interface to the online reference manual. So you will be getting online reference manual for writing the command. These all are the syntaxes of the command. You can just type man space hyphen c with the file or directly man space the command. In the description has been given what is the use of man command. Man is the system manual pager. It will give you the details use of any command in details. And in the last you will be getting the flags, means example means flag. These all are the flags which are coming, right? And if you need to scroll it up or scroll it down, you can use page up, page down, page up, page down option you can use, or you can use Q to quit it. Q, quit. Again you can clear up this thing. So this is one thing that you can do. And if you are not able to copy, Funny Chandra, this is your SSH command. Everybody's command will be different. Your command will be different. My command means your DNS will be different. My DNS will be different. Your key pair will be different. My key pair will be different. So you are saying some of issues you are facing, right? So we'll try one more time. Let's suppose I have connected. Now again I want to connect the machine. I want to connect the machine. again. Right, what will I do is I will go back to CMD again. I will open my file explorer where the key pair I downloaded. This is key pair. I just check here CMD. It will open command prompt. In command prompt, you can just type SSH space hyphen I, SSH space hyphen I space the key pair. What is the key pair? Let's say my key pair is Linux hyphen key dot pem. It is my key pair. I'll close. And I'll write username. Username is EC2 hyphen user at the rate. You can keep the IP address of the machine here. So what we will do is we'll go back to machine, we'll copy this IP address from here and we'll bring here and we'll paste the IP address and we will hit enter. It will also connect your machine. You just write yes, it will connect the machine. So this is another method to connect the machine. Either you can use command which has been given as an example, or you can just type your own command by keeping SSH space hyphen I, your key pair in double quote space EC2 user. EC2 user is a standard user which has been given you here to log in into the Linux machine. Got it? If still you are facing the problem, you can share up your screen and we can work on it. Why you are not able to connect it? Pani Chandra, can you share can you share up your screen?
Yes, sir.
I'll make you co-host so that you can share up this screen. All right. So this is one way of connection, guys. This is one way of connection. Like either you can use the DNS or you can use the IP address. So DNS is here. EC2 user at the rate IP you can use. EC2 user at the rate DNS also you can use. Public DNS you can also use to connect. And the same in Windows also. In Windows also we can use public DNS or IP address. Is it clear now to everybody? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Pani Chandra?
Sir, I just shared my screen, sir. So, this is the error I'm getting currently.
Okay.
Not this one, 1 minute. So, after hitting the command,
where is your key pair? Show me your key pair.
It's here, sir, in downloads.
In download, will be under C. Fine. Yeah. Now try to connect. Just type CMD on the top. Here on the right side place. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Just type now SSH space hyphen I space EC. Okay. Correct. Just give the key pair name in quote. It is capital L.
Yes, sir. It is capital.
All right. Linux key. Yeah. .py. Close it. Space. Type EC2 hyphen user. At the rate. Keep the IP address. IP address of the machine. Public IP address. Correct. Enter. It is saying permission for this R2 open. This is required that your private key file are not accessible by other. This private key will be ignored. Okay. Load key. Bad permission. EC2. This permission denied. It means that there are few setups that we need to do in that file. Just close this and click on the file. There is a few right click. Go back to the properties of it. Properties. And go to security. and who is accessing? You are using as a Funny Chandra system administrator. Who is using now? Just
System, sir.
system is using only.
Yeah. I mean, I only have only one account, sir. I have no other prospects.
Here it is showing administrator, system, Funny Chandra users.
I don't know. Yeah, it's been like that since the start. Sir.
In your laptop, right? So this system is full control allowed. Click on Funny Chandra, second option, the Gmail. Special permission it is not having. Okay, go ahead with the administrator now. Fine. Okay. All right. All right. So what you can do is just start the CMD as a administrator. Just press Windows R. Windows R. Same. Now go to download. Open it. Go to download now from the same command prompt. Go to download. Just CD. Open this. CD space. Under the system 32, I think download is there. Just space download.
Sorry, your voice is breaking down, sir.
Downloads.
Okay, should I
Write download. The spelling, check out the spelling.
download, sir?
Hit enter. No. This is not the correct downloads. See the download start from capital D.
Okay. It's still the same issue. Should I put a slash here or something?
Keep a slash. Let's see. No, with the space.
Still the same.
See, it is backslash. Try now. No. See Windows System 32. Download is in 32 only. Open the File Explorer once. Go to System 2 and then check it out. Go to local disk C. Acer. System 32 where exactly?
That's in
users. Funny.
One second.
See the download is in this download the file is.
It is this.
Okay. Perfect. Use command ls sir. It lists out directories. Is it? It is not Linux.
Dir, sir, dir. In Windows dir.
DA?
dir.
dir.
Okay.
Array, so many are coming. Just press Ctrl C now to stop it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now what we will do is now
actually path like this page asset, but there we can say funny and download there. You can search CMD directly, it will open.
Yeah. Search CMD here. Now paste the command and do it. This will work now. Basically, that was not the correct path where we were using, right? So it happens guys in some of computers. So you need to understand basically what user you are using, whether that user is having permission to access it or not. EC2 user @public IP, or just copy entire command and paste also. It's up to you. Yeah.
Still the same issue.
Still the same issue it is coming. When
So
you
once
have
open File Explorer,
open File Explorer once again,
you click on this properties, the file properties. Yes, properties, security.
security.
Yeah,
Funny Chandra is user, it seems. Yeah, that one.
Everything has the same permissions.
everything has full control.
Permission is there, right?
It has everything.
What is
Everything
you
is
all
full.
everywhere?
Full control, read, write, execute to all the files.
Everything has full control.
Just edit once. Just edit users Funny Chandra. Edit once. Let's see. Allow. All are allowed. Here everything is allowed. It is saying it is too open. Basically, that can be done in the Linux very fast. Okay, we will try with another key pair, right? Funny Chandra, we will try with another key. Let's try to do the same by using another way. Let's suppose you are not able to connect it by using the same way. So there is some other way also to connect. So let's try with that. For that we need to use putty. We need to use putty. And putty is better in terms of setting up the station multiple times. I hope my screen is visible to everybody. It's visible, guys.
Yes, sir.
So we can just download putty now. Putty download for Windows. Download putty for Windows. And you can open putty.org and you can click here to download putty. And you can download as per your system 3064. You can just click here to download. And once it will get downloaded, you can just install it. It is downloaded and you just double click to install. So we click on next again, and it will install. So by using this putty also we can connect the machine. Please install the putty now in your PC.
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
Are you able to hear me now? Guys, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we are done with the putty now, guys. We have installed putty. We have installed putty. Done with the putty. Everybody? Done with the putty.
Yes, sir. Already there.
Already there. Fine, good. Everybody, please confirm if you are done with the putty. We will try to connect again by using putty now. So funny, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Shall we try one more time?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Shall I give you a command so that you can try? I can write a command, you can try, okay?
All
So
right.
you just open the download. Once after opening the download, you just write the CMD there in the location part. Write CMD. Once it will get open, then you have to write a command. ICACLS
ICACLS.
ICACLS space the key pair name. The key
All
pair
right.
name, let's say if you are having Linux dot key Linux hyphen key and dot pem is your key pair. So you will write the key pair name in space slash. You have to write just inherit. Inherit. Ma'am, I'm just writing and I'll send you. Inherit. Inheritance slash inheritance r. This is the first command you can try, and after keeping this command you can just ch mode is for Windows, Shayyad. Ch mode is for Windows. Ch mode is for Windows. And after that you can grant some permission to which user you are using. Let's suppose you are using Funny Chandra, your name, so you can just give space grant colon r space again username, your username, which username you are giving, username percent, and then colon r in bracket. This is the command which I found to resolve this issue.
Okay, sir. I'll just try this.
Yeah, please try it once. These two commands. The username, you please check it by which user you are connecting. Once it is showing the error, so there it will show the user also. So your funny chain, the name is the user, I guess. So you will write in this format. You will connect it. So guys, you all have downloaded the keep. What do you call putty? Putty, you can also call it putty, or you can also call it patti. Both putty or patti.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So different people are pronunciating like putty. Some people are putty. So we can just open putty jail. If you install putty, you know I am going to connect with the putty. So that time you can also download ppk file while creating the virtual machine. For example, if I open putty zen, I'll open putty zen. Are you able to see screen connected putty zen?
Yes, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir.
It's breaking again.
Yes, yes, sir. Not clear.
Okay. It is the test of internet then, because
Mm.
uh, now
No, okay, okay, sir.
all right. So guys, if you need to convert it, you can see the load option here. Load, you can click on load and you will select your key pair. You will select your key pair. Generally it won't come like this, so you have to click here on the right side. Putty private key file ppk is coming. You have to click and you have to select all file from here. Then you will get your pm file and you will select and you will open. Once you will open, a pop-up will come, successfully imported the foreign key, and you have to click on OK. And after that you have to save the private key file. Click on yes. And you can give the name a private key file, let's say Linux uh, key, Linux key with putty we are using, so we can just give with putty. This name you have to give only. You can give same name, different name also. It's not a problem. So where you want to keep? You want to keep into downloads only? Okay. Let's save in the download. That's it. You have to do to convert. And if you go in download, you will be able to see a PPK file will be generated here. And after that, you will open the putty. You will open the putty now. You will open putty.
Sir, can you repeat once again?
Yeah. So what we have to do is for converting the PEM file to PPK, guys, you have to open putty.zen, and you have to just click here to load the PEM file. Click here load and select your key pair. So here you will not find out your key pair in download till the time you are not changing this PPK files to all file. If you change this to all file, you will get your PEM file here. You will select and you will open. A pop-up will come here as a successfully imported foreign key. You have to click on OK, and after that you have to save the private key. And it will say, are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? Just say yes. Because it is asking a password to protect it, so we are not giving a password for now. We'll click yes. And after that we will give the name. Here let's say Linux key. And we can save in the download itself. Save. Done. And we can just close this. And after that you will open putty. This time you will open putty. Okay, so here if you are opening putty, you need to understand the steps. So here directly you can type the public IP address of your machine, or you can use EC2 user @ public IP. Both you can write. So first of all, I'll tell you, copy the IP address and paste the IP address here only. After that, you have to go to the SSH. SSH, if you can see in the left menu, you have to expand the SSH, and then you will get the authentication, auth. You have to expand the auth also. So you will get the credential option. First, I have expanded the SSH, and then auth, I got the credential. Here, the first option, private key file for authentication, here we will browse the same key which we have converted. So I have converted 2 times, so I can select any one of it. So I'll select first one and I'll open it. After doing this, if you need to save this session, you can save, or directly you can open. If you click here open, it will ask your username. First of all, it will give you a putty security alert. To accept it, it will ask login as a, then you will write EC2 hyphen user. You will log in as EC2 hyphen user. You will be able to log into the Linux machine again. You can see, you can again clear up the screen, and you can do the if config to see the IP address, right? You can again clear up the screen. This is Linux, right? This is Linux. This is Linux, guys. You can run few commands to check it out. All right. This is one way to connect. The second way is,
Sir, can you please repeat from SSH part because it's too fast.
okay. I'll repeat the same. I'll repeat the same. No need to. See, have you converted the PEM to PPK?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have to open putty. Open the putty. Here, you can write EC2 hyphen user @ the IP address of your machine. This is the IP address of your machine. You can copy from here and you can just paste here, right? Like this way. EC2 hyphen user @ IP address. Okay.
Just a second, sir. I can't find the IP address. Where is it?
In the EC2 instance, if you go, you can see the instances, the machine which you have created. There, under the details page, you will get the IP, or else you can just bring your cursor towards right side. Here also it is giving us the IP. Both are
Sir,
same.
there is two written, public IPv4 address and private IPv4 address.
Public you have to use. Private is not reachable on internet. Public you have to use.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got it.
So, once after copying this IP and pasting into this putty, you have to expand the SSH. Are you able to see SSH here?
Yes,
Left
sir.
menu. Under the connection, there is SSH. We have to expand this SSH. Just click on plus option. It will get expanded. Once after expanding the SSH, you have to click on auth. Auth will also get extended. And then you have to click on credential. Once you click on credential, the first private key file for authentication it is asking. Here only you have to browse the key pair and you have to load the key pair, open, and directly you can click here to open. It will open the, see, connected the machine.
Sir, I'm able to connect without the key pair also, sir, using EC2 hyphen user at the rate IP address.
Without key pair you are able to connect, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, without key pair also we can connect. So let's connect without key pair also.
Connected, sir.
Yeah, good. So let's putty and here paste the IP address and just open. It will ask username EC2 hyphen user, enter. See, for me it is not connecting.
Sir, you keep directly username in that one, sir.
Okay,
Public IP address.
okay. So we will do that also. We'll open putty and here we'll keep EC2 hyphen user at the rate IP address, correct? We'll
Yes,
click
sir.
on open and not supported authentication method available server sent, right? So sometime in some PCs some permission used to be there, in some PC it won't. So you just give the, you pass the key and try to connect. Okay, and one more thing, if you are connecting with putty now, so let's suppose you want to increase the
Sir,
font. Yeah,
af- after pasting our private key file, what the next steps are in putty?
after uploading just click on open, and you can save this session also. You can open, you can connect multiple. For example, let's say I have given the IP address here and I went to SSH and auth credential. I'll browse the key pair, I'll open this and I'll go back now session. I'll give a name of session here, let's say session 1. I'll save it and I'll select this session and I'll open. This is the first session which I have created and I'll connect it as a EC2 hyphen user. This is my first session, right? This is connected. Now, if you can click here and you can go to the new session and you can again paste the IP address. You can just type EC2 hyphen user at the rate IP address and you can again pass the key pair, right? Again pass the key pair and you can just open it, and you can keep it to the session 2 now. You can save it as a session 2, session 2 you have given, and you will save it and select it, and you will open it. Now one is here, one is here, two part you have created, two way you have connected, right? And now you will close both, you will close both, and you will again open putty. You can see your session 1, you can open the session, login as EC2 hyphen user, enter. You have logged in directly now. So if you save the session, you can log in. Got it?
Yes.
So this is how it does work, guys. And the internal structure of these commands and everything, we will start tomorrow. And I'll start from basic, and rather than seeing this small font, you can go to this putty, and then you can go to change setting, and you can go to appearance, and then you can go to change, and you can change this font also, let's say 22, so that you can also increase the font, and you will be able to type now whatever the things, it will be coming little bit bigger, right? Like this, you can type your command here, like that you can do also. These all are the setting of your putty only, that you can try in future.